NC Live. Live from Audio Scribe Studios. You're listening to Under the Radar on Planet Z Live. Planet Z Live, DJ Styles. It is Under the Radar, and a good Thursday night to you. And a chilly Thursday night. It is 37 degrees in Apex, North Carolina. Under the Radar, joined now live via telecommunication services through the Motorola transmitter.
Motorola?
I don't even know my trend. I don't even know what it is. Doesn't matter, I guess. AT&T fiber.
It sounded like you knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. AT&T fiber modem down there in Whiteville, North Carolina. It's Mike Daniel, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Mike Daniel.
I feel so popular when I come on here because you say it's Mike Daniel.
Michael, you're feeling better?
I've still got some throat stuff going on, but hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm 100%.
Yeah, that's good, man. I was praying on you, man.
I appreciate it.
It's bad to be sick around the holidays.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And my wife is now sick.
What's she got?
Same thing I had.
And Chris Nash is excited about this.
She's in the other room, so she's far away from here.
We got Chris Nash on the show, and he's sitting there, and he's like,
"What are the vitamins this morning?"
Yeah. He's like, "What did I came into the Ebola?"
I keep him away from her room.
Mike, you should have said something like, "Man, I had the Ebola," or whatever it is. I don't even know. Maybe that's I don't know. Is that contagious? I don't know much about diseases, fortunately, but I guess that's contagious, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, I would imagine.
You know, what if you said, "Man, I'm getting rid of that Ebola," or whatever? I like to see Chris Nash's face in there, like, "What did I come into?"
Well, I got my Purell in my pocket. That's a holdover from lockdown a couple of years ago.
No, Chris Nash, is that your favorite brand of hand? You know my favorite, Michael.
Yes.
Quiz question for you. Let's see if you know me. Probably do. Probably don't.
See if I know you.
Well, you know maybe some things, but what do you think my favorite brand of hand sanitizer is? No, I personally don't like much of hand sanitizer. It makes your hands sticky. It's got a, you know what I mean? It's got a film. Some people go right for it and they don't care.
I don't even know all the brands that are out there, but I'm going to say Purell because it's a popular brand.
Chris Nash, what you got? You got any?
And the Purell that I get, you can get it anywhere. I'm a big Walmart guy.
I like Walmart.
That's the store we got here.
I like Walmart.
Whiteville.
I like that.
And this Purell has got like moisturizers in it.
Makes you think so.
It doesn't have that film that you were talking about, Mike. Yeah. That if you get the Dollar General brand, it is sticky.
Yeah,
sticky. And it smells like moonshine.
What was yours?
Bath and Body Works eucalyptus mint, spearmint, whatever it is.
I should have known that. You into Bath and Body Works all the time.
I spray that. I like that. It smells so good. It's just a refreshing smell.
Where were you at today, Chris? Oh, I went to Bath and Body Works.
I went to Bath and Body Works to get myself some hand sanitizer. Now, Michael, do you carry hand sanitizer with you?
No. I don't do that.
Chris Nash, you carry it with you, evidently.
Well, it's from when the world shut down and we're back playing bars again.
Yep.
And, I was like, one thing, just doing the whole 6 feet away protocol. Right. It's like people want to shake my hand, and then we would all fist bump each other or elbow, but then a hand would just sneak in there, and I'd grab that hand. I'm like, well, I'm about to eat my sandwich. So I do discreetly, and a lot of times I can't steal away and go, excuse me, let me go to the restroom and sanitize my hand after you just shook it.
Yeah.
I saw you sniffling over there. And
I saw you picking that nose.
I do the fist bump. I still keep that going. I was excited when people started wanting to shake hands because I don't like doing that.
Howie Mandel does not shake anybody's hand.
Well, he's got a phobia as well. Yeah. He's got a phobia of
germs,
viruses or something like that.
Germophobia.
Germaphobe. Yeah.
Yeah, very very heavy germaphobe.
Yeah, it's not fun, but I still keep the fist bump going.
Oh yeah,
I keep that going, especially if someone smokes. Like they smoke a cigarette, I cannot shake hands. No, Chris asks if you smoke. I don't know if you do or not. But my apologies if you do.
Or when someone's exiting the restroom and you don't hear. You hear the flush.
You don't hear the water.
But you don't hear the water. I'm like,
you brought up a
good
point, Chris Nash. Do you secretly wait to see if they wash their hands? Do you wait a second?
I do keep my ear to the,
I kind of do too.
Cocked that way.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
So I just treat everybody like they don't wash their hands.
Or if you hear the water run for 4 seconds, there's not much hand washing that happens.
Right, because you're supposed to do the happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
And they did not. Nope.
You speak up when they come walking up I heard that sink didn't come on. You better get your butt back in there.
That's right. That's right. Now, Chris Nash, do you do the happy birthday song? Do you sing that?
In my mind.
You ever cover that?
You got that? I do. I'm a big birthday singer. Like every time.
Are you big into birthdays? Were you like somebody big into birthdays or just nah?
Well, I became a birthday singer because I play at the Hotel Ballast all the time, 6 months out of the year.
Where's that?
Downtown Wilmington. It's on Water Street. Used to be the old Riverside Hilton.
Is that on the ocean?
It was right there on the Cape Fear River, looking over the UC battleship from there.
It's not called the Hilton anymore?
No, it's Hotel Ballast. Technically, the
Ballast,
Hotel
like
Ballast,
from
the
a
Hilton
boat.
Tapestry Collection. Sounds pretty fancy.
It
Wow.
does.
But I play there, and we have a bunch of people having birthdays, and I just sang these people happy birthday, and word got around town that I'm the birthday guy.
I tell you what, you got a birthday. We get that Chris Nash up in here, and he's got some birthday music for you. He can do it in Spanish. He can even sing it in Spanish.
And I'll put the birthday person on the spot and get the whole bar singing, and that just translates to more gas money in my tip jar.
You know, you could learn in Spanish. Was it cumpleaños tienes tú?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Cumpleaños.
I just learned Jose Feliciano's Feliz Navidad.
Yeah,
Man.
that's a good one.
Because
So-
it's just Feliz Navidad the whole time. And
Do a little of that for us in a moment. So let's start out with that.
Yeah.
Since it's Christmas, you ain't got to do. Well, we don't want to hear the whole
Feliz
thing.
Navidad.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Yeah, when it's time to play live music here in a second, I want to hear a little of
yeah.
that. We'll just start with a little bit of that until we get bored with it. And then we'll move on to what we're
I
here
just
for.
Do it on loop.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a loop? Do you have a loop pedal?
I do, and I got 2 left feet, so it's a challenge. A lot of my buddies that play in Wilmington are a lot more proficient loopers than I. But yeah, I did try to mess with it, you know, for like accompaniment, and I'm my own accompanist.
Yeah.
You know.
I've seen a couple. I've got a buddy named Russ Thompson. He does some looping. He's really good at it. And I remember years ago, the first time I ever saw a loop pedal, I was at a restaurant in Raleigh, and it was like a reggae type restaurant. And they had a reggae singer out there, and he had a loop pedal, and he'd play a little guitar and had it going like,
yeah.
you know, all that stuff. And then,
Oh, it's cool. Yeah.
and then he took a phone call while it was still looping. I was watching. He took a phone call.
That's like next level. Loop.
Yeah,
There.
and this is true. I'm not making this up. And he had really good groove going with the guitar. He played everything. And then he was on the phone, you know, for a lot of it. And then every now and again, I'm not lying, he would go, "Oh girl, oh girl, oh girl," you know. And then he was still on the phone.
I would imagine that
Yeah.
reggae music is really good to use for the looper.
But he was really good. After he got through with that phone call, he was good. But that was the first time I ever saw a loop pedal. I didn't know what was going on. I thought, man, that's really cool how he's doing that. It's like a foot pedal looper,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the phone and go, "Oh, girl, hey," you know, and then he's like, "I'm back on the phone. All right, I'm back," you know. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we've talked about hand sanitizers. We've talked about loop pedals.
And
We've
reggae
talked
bands,
about
yes.
birthday singing. We've talked about now reggae music and loop pedals. Join us on the show tonight is none other than, on vocals and guitar, a gentleman by the name of Chris Nash.
Howdy.
Chris Nash, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Chris, tell me about your background, where you're from. How about this? Where do you currently live? Like, what city?
I live right here in Whiteville, North Carolina.
Oh, you're right close to Mike then.
Whiteville.
Now, notice the way he said it.
Whiteville.
Yeah, give me that.
There you go.
Whiteville. Yeah.
Whiteville.
I went to UNCW
Uh-huh.
and they knocked all the English classes and the acting class. I was a theater major for a little while.
Right.
And they knocked the accent right out of me. It was Whiteville. I'm
Mm-hmm.
from Whiteville. Especially I graduated, went up to Raleigh and tried to go to NC State. Awkward
city.
word, try. But, you know, I don't have an engineering bone in my body.
Yeah.
And, you know, my SATs are iffy.
What is the SAT? What does that even take that? What is that?
I just remember this test we had to take, you know, but anyway, my scores were like in the 3 digits.
I don't even know what good is anymore. I don't know what bad
yeah,
is. I would have the bad. I'd figure out what that is. I'd easily find that.
We
mine's
always
not
thought
good.
that it meant Saturday afternoon test.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Saturday afternoon. Yeah, sounds about right.
I think I took mine
Saturday afternoon.
on Saturday.
They're
It
always
was
on
at-
Saturday.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
at New Hanover High,
Yep.
right there in off market. You know,
Oh, that's good.
Always on Saturdays.
Oh, Mike, that's so true. Saturday afternoon test. I've never thought
it was
about
an
that.
excellent way to waste a kid's Saturday. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you've got to go take this test.
Yeah. Saturday
Okay.
afternoon test. I'm gonna start using that. I like that. All right. So Chris Nash, you from Whiteville? Is that where you're born and raised?
Whiteville. Well, I was born and raised in Motor City, Motown, Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, now how old were you when you moved out of the Motown area?
Oh wow! Well, we moved around a lot. My uncle was an engineer with Chrysler, and he was with Ford, and he was Chrysler.
Yeah.
So I grew up, a Dodge and a Ford guy and a Chevy guy.
Right.
And ended up in Clarkton, North Carolina, somehow by the grace of God.
Now, were you old enough that area of the country would affect your musical taste and proclivities?
Absolutely. Well, let's see. When I was moving around, I was more into like, I don't know, kid stuff, I guess. Like getting my G.I. Joe man or whatever it was at the time, my He-Man, the big master of the universe.
Right.
We collected those too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still have my Castle Grayskull.
That thing, if you go on eBay and look, that
It's worth
thing's
some
worth
money,
like,
man.
yeah, I can't remember how much. I looked maybe a couple years ago for some reason, and it was worth like $1,000.
Oh yeah, maybe that's something to think about.
If you have the actual characters,
Yeah.
like the original characters and the original castle, it's like that's even more money.
Oh
Yeah.
man, and see, mine are like severely played with. Like He-Man's missing an arm, and
no!
one time I like in my the scenario,
He-Man prosthetics would be able to make an arm.
Skeletor set fire to He-Man in a fit of rage.
Skeletor was mean.
So,
He finally won.
Skeletor was a bully. Skeletor was freaky, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
I found out that Skeletor is actually He-Man's uncle.
How'd you
Are
find that
serious?
out?
Yep. I read a lot of nerd kind of things. You
don't hear a lot of people that know a lot about He-Man.
Actually, yeah, because nobody will invite me to Trivial Pursuit because I will win.
You're the guy for that.
I'm the ringer. So, no, Chris is on our team. I'm like, well, I was on your team last Tuesday.
How about that?
That's so weird to think about.
That
though,
was
that it's his
He-Man's
uncle.
cousin. Are you sure about that?
King Randor of Eternia. It's funny, I even still remember that. But had a rogue brother who had a evidently freak shaving accident or whatever, where all the skin off his face, it was gone, and he just waged war against the world.
That darn razor.
Yeah.
It evidently wasn't a Gillette.
That's right.
They didn't have Dollar Generals in
Right.
Eternia. I don't
Oh,
think.
that's
back
so
then,
messed up.
Right. When did you?
just
Chris Nash, when did you first pick up the guitar, so to say, or was it not the guitar you started singing?
Well, I was singing, like my grandma would put me on coffee tables and say, sing. Because, I could sing. I guess
Yeah.
I loved to sing Christmas songs and all
Right.
that. And,
Yeah.
and years later, so when I was like 15, we had these neighbors here in Whiteville. And it's actually one of the owners of Star Tavern in Little River. He and his brother Richard had a studio in Wilmington back in the day, and they were always playing guitars. And they'd see me ride my bike, with my armless He-Man in tow, and they'd say, Chris, if you want to come by the house, we can show you how to play a couple of chords on the guitar.
Right.
And I said, well. Guitar, well, my mom forced me to take piano lessons. And I went through that. And guitar, I'm not sure about guitar, because then I was all into like taekwondo, and I got my kicks. That's before I realized where Route 66 actually was. I just like to kick stuff. And kick rocks. I kicked a bunch of them. And I'm like, and then Ron would say, well, this is my coming of age. Every young man, 15 years old,
about
you start
15.
seeing that yucky girl in class is actually something about her. I don't know. I feel weird. What's happening with me? But I'm saying, girls like a guy that played the guitar. I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
they do.
no.
Yeah, they do.
I'm like, and back then I was kind of like, no, I don't know. I'll let you know. Meaning no. And then I went to their home studio, and he had like this homemade guitar, this red Strat, and then a PV amp changed my life. And he told me all about these cool bands like Jethro Tull, and who he says, I want you to go look live at Leeds. There was no YouTube back then, so he had to make me a copy of it, on a cassette. And live at Leeds, look at Pete Townsend. That's
Yes.
the power chord. I'm like, okay, that sounds great. Meant nothing to me. And then I discovered the guitar a year later on my own. Something about it, I don't know. I conned my dad into getting me a Strat at Dunham's Music, I think, in Asheville, which is like a sister store to McFadden's. If you remember the big McFadden music chain.
Yep.
So I got me a Strat, a Fender Strat. It was blue, and a PV amp that looked like Ron's. Had 2 speakers, and it's the old PV logo with the sharp angles.
That's the old school. I like that.
Yeah, it had a built-in reverb and phaser and all that.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't take any lessons. I just found patterns, which was like the blue sky. I just discovered like this system. Like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like little things like, like I'm like, and I just wrote a riff for that. And then my first actual guitar lesson was from Johnny the Orkin Man, our exterminator.
Boy, the exterminator put down his spray and said, hey.
He did. He says, let me see that guitar. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And he says, and first thing he said, turn that fuzz off, talking about the phasers. Turn that fuzz. I want a clean sound.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was all into like heavy metal, and I wanted as much distortion as possible.
Right.
And he wanted clean, and he taught me this lick, like it's a D chord that everyone learns like day 1 or 2. And he was playing, essentially he taught me how to play Freebird.
Nice. Give me give me some of that
goes
chord
on-
right now. Give me that little chord.
He was that part right there,
Yeah.
and actually there's a guy at the Real Cafe one time in the back, every show, all my buddies that play music know this about Freebird.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's become a meme, right? And then this guy kept saying it all night. I'm like, okay, well, you got it. You asked for it. You got it. I went into that. And he had the most puzzled look on his face. I'm like, and I'm on the mic. I'm like, dude, what's wrong? He says, I don't know. What's that song you're playing? I'm like, that's Freebird. And honest to God, he told me, I honestly thought that was just something you said at a show. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no.
He didn't realize it was a real song.
I called him up on stage, which he loved the attention, because I think he left with a young lady that night.
Hey.
But I said, give me your phone, and I want you to look up this band called Leonard Skinner. And they wrote Freebird and gave him some homework. And there you go. He was walking down Front Street with a cute blonde in tow, knowing that Freebird was actually a song
and not something said.
Yeah.
And now he never asked for it ever again.
Right, I know. And then I had this strange feeling of accomplishment at that courtyard at the Real Cafe. That was like 2 summers ago or something like that. And then I reached in my pocket when no one was looking, got that Purell. Because he shook my hand.
Right.
And he didn't look like he washed his hands.
That's right. You're watching that.
He looked a little dirty. So,
Very nice.
This was 2021. We were still getting over the whole worldwide phenomenon that we all survived.
That's right. Let's do.
Wash your hands, kids.
Let's do a studio track from you first, and come back and do some live music. Do a track called "Never Be the Same" from Chris Nash. Tell me about that track.
I wrote that song with a couple of characters on the Yellowstone TV show.
Wrote it with the folks.
I wish.
Oh,
I wrote it about.
About. Okay.
And in my dream of dreams, I would love to get that song to Taylor Sheridan and say, I wrote this about Jimmy and Emily, about the cowboy, the awkward cowboy that's got no game and all that, but he got the girl. He wasn't a football captain, but he got the girl. And the song might be a tad bit autobiographical.
All right. Let's do it here. It's Chris Nash, Never Be the Same. Planet Z Live, 919-289-9001 on the text. If you'd like to write in and say hello, appreciate that. 919-289-9001. Chris Nash, Never Be the Same. Back in just a moment with live music from Chris Nash from Audio Scribe Studios. Planet Z Live. It is the one, the only, Under the Radar. Thanks for listening.
Well, this ain't my first rodeo. This ain't my first dance. Seen you standing all by yourself, surrounded by all your friends. Well, if you wanna come and take a chance on me, a cowboy with no real game, I know one line dance, I can't two-step, but I promise you'll never be the same. Been a lone wolf all these lonely years, ever since I left the pack. Held back my religion, hopes and fears, swore I would never go back. Well, if you wanna come and take a chance on me, a cowboy, no real game, I know one line dance, I can't two-step, but I promise you'll never be the same. Come on, baby, kick up your heels. my darling, one and only, see how that feels. Well, if you wanna come take a chance on me, cowboy, no real game. No one line dance, can't two-step, but I promise you'll never be the same. On me, a cowboy, no real game. No one line dance, I can't two-step, but I promise you'll never be the same. Well, they're shutting down this old honky-tonk and finally doing last call. 2 by 2, they're walking out the door, everybody's having a ball. Well, if you wanna come and take a chance on me, cowboy, no real game. No one line dance, I can't two-step, but I promise you'll never be the same. Well, this ain't my first rodeo, this ain't my first last dance. I've seen you standing all by yourself, surrounded by all your friends.
Under the Radar. It is Under the Radar. Planet Z Live, DJ Styles live tonight. And a hello to you at 919-289-9001. Join live with Mike Daniel, ladies and gentlemen,
would be
Audio
me.
Scribe Studios. And you just heard Chris Nash's track, Never Be the Same, ladies and gentlemen. And inspiration for that, I believe you said, was the TV show Yellowstone. Is that right?
Yeah, and about Jimmy, the guy who we never thought in a million years would become a cowboy.
And there he is being a cowboy.
Yep.
Are you a fan of that show?
I am. It took me 3 or 4 times to get into it. Like I'd watch him, like, it's another Western.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Costner's a legend, Tombstone and all
Yeah.
that. But I'm like, I don't know if I'm feeling this show.
Right.
But then I watched it for the 4th time. Then I really got into the story. And when the characters resonate with you, then
right.
you know you got like a hit on your hands. And I just binged it on Paramount Plus, and
That's
now
what
there's,
yeah.
you know, and I'm still paying subscriptions, and I don't watch it anymore because I've seen everything.
You got to cancel that subscription, or else
I do.
that's how they
gotta-
get you.
And Hulu, I looked at my statement the other, today. I'm like, I'm still paying for Hulu.
That's how they get you. Is you don't remember to, cancel is what they hope that you will forget to do.
Well, all the prices have gone up too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're looking at like we have Netflix, we have Disney Plus, we've got Prime,
Yeah.
and we don't have cable. And I mean,
Right.
that's all we use is that. But Netflix went up, Disney went up, and Prime
I
all
am
went up.
one price hike away from Netflix. Like, look, I'm going back to the DVDs, y'all.
Yeah, we're really close to like getting off of Disney Plus because of that.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of this month we will probably be releasing that one from our collection.
I thought about doing that myself because like everything on Disney Plus that I would watch is like the Marvel stuff and like the Star Wars stuff. And I've got hard copies of everything because before I went the streaming stuff, I would go to our local Walmart here in Whiteville, and I would get the box sets, so to speak. I would just get the Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And so I'm right there with you.
Well, we've been taking everything. We've been taking everything of ours. Like I have a huge DVD collection. I used to collect DVDs quite a bit. I had about
everybody did for a long time. Yeah.
I had about 400 plus movies, and over the years we've been gradually getting rid of them and putting them on digital. And so we've been transferring all of our movies to digital. So on Vudu. We have an account on Vudu, and all of our stuff is on there that's digital. And so, as we get stuff added to Vudu, we just kind of get rid of the DVD.
Yep.
So that's kind of what we're trying to do. And, if you've got all this stuff on Vudu or on a digital service anyway, you can get rid of the streaming stuff because you've got all that stuff on digital anyway.
Yep.
So that's why we're working on doing that.
Well, Chris Nash, tell us where we can find your music. Where are you at? Are you on Spotify? Or
I'm on Spotify and, let's see, Apple Music, pretty much everywhere.
Right.
Well, not everywhere, but most platforms.
Now, you've been playing primarily in the Whiteville, Wilmington area, or do you get further out when you're playing?
When I started out doing this thing, I was down east. I was in Greenville, up there, the East Carolina scene. And then I'm like, I would love to move to around the Wilmington area because I played a couple of shows there and just fell back in love with like the beaches. And I was telling Mike earlier that I went to UNCW, but we went to Greenville all the time to tailgate, and whether the Pirates won or lost that Saturday just depends on the coach and all that. But we tailgated our butts off. We were like world champion tailgaters in East Carolina, even to this day. And went up there, and then I didn't know a soul in Wilmington. I grew up in Wilmington, but I just started playing on the street. I was a busker.
Oh, that is the way to go. I've got a couple friends that do that.
A lot of people do that out here.
I would just play on Friday nights. My dad, my brothers, and I would just go to Wilmington, and they would go check out the Downtown Sundown concert series he used to have. This was like around, like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And I would just, I'm going to set up right here in front of Finkelstein's music.
Yep.
And I had my tip jar. I'm just see.
They give you an outlet, or are you battery powered?
No, I just went total
acoustic guitar
blues man from 1940. I would just stand on the corner with my guitar, and it was myself. There was this sax player a block down, and this other guy playing an acoustic guitar through a bass amp, sitting down. And he reminded me of like John Lee Hooker.
Right.
So we all had our corners. So my corner was in front of like where Finkelstein's used to be and where the whiskey used to be, right there on that light pole. And then when I found out that, wow, I've got some dollar bills at my feet, then I said, I might want to play. And then, my good fortune, a guy came up and said, "Hey, man, I've been seeing you here on Fridays. Where do you play?" I'm like, "Right here."
That's right.
This spot.
On this spot.
This is it, right?
Every
R-A-T.
Friday night. Yeah.
Right.
And he's like, and he said, and he said, "I would love you to play at my bar." I'm like, "I would love to play your bar."
Yeah.
He says, "Where's your bar?" He says, "Right down the road. Look that way."
Right.
And turns out that's how I met one of the owners of the Real Cafe. And he said, "I want you to call my partner. He does the booking." And then I got a show there. And then, I know how it's hard to get in places because, they've got a rotation of artists and all that. And I said, "Hey, if anyone ever can't make it, I'll be your cancellation guy."
Right.
And I put the word out there that, if someone cancels and you're in a bind, you can call Chris Nash and he will save the day.
He's your guy. He's the guy.
That's a good thing to do, though.
Because he's got Purell and he's got a He-Man with no arm. And
I gotta ask you about that He-Man. Hold on a sec.
Yeah.
That He-Man, you said you carried that around with you?
Well,
was that like a Napoleon Dynamite thing? Or you just take it, throw it out the window?
Right. It was kind of because that's why Napoleon Dynamite was like somehow I like related to him a little bit too well. I had my sweet dance moves and all that.
Whatever I feel like. Gosh. That's cool, man. Did you find that busking? I got a friend that sings very loud now. He busked in New York in the subways. Right. So he he had to project really loud, and even now, same as Jason Damo. Even now, he just sings insanely loud for no real reason other than that's just how he, from busking, that's what he did.
Oh yeah, and there's an Irish singer-songwriter that I follow, Glenn Hansard. He was with the Frames, and he became like a worldwide star from this movie he was in called Once. About this busker on Grafton Street, downtown Dublin. And he would say in interviews and podcasts that from years of busking, you just learn to kind of belt it out.
Right.
In the live arena, I had to learn to kind of like cool it.
Right.
And not have my mics because I'm still, you got years of muscle memory.
Right.
And engineers would tell me all the time,
real loud,
back off on the mic, and I just can't help it at the time because I'm trying to beat the street, beat the whatever the Ubers going around, or the
buses,
downtown Wilmington,
dogs barking,
the horses,
all
that,
the famous horse carriage,
all that. And then when I'm in a listening room arena, like live at Ted's, I had to really tell myself, okay, this is a really.
Have you played there before?
I have. It's actually a year ago around this week, which is kind of how I ended up here. It's a small world.
Wow.
And I was doing the Voice in the Pen series. in Wilmington. I
Nice.
did that twice last year. One in July at Waterline Brewery, and in December of 2022 at Ted's, at Live
Nice.
Ted's. And that's how I met a lot of the folks I see on the wall up in here.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
I'm at home for one thing because of Whiteville.
Why?
But I feel at home too from just all the music connections in common.
Let's get a live track from you now.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Let's see. Well, let's see. Well, we just played that one studio. That song, Never Be the Same. We can do. This is the song that I had intended to release first as a quote unquote single. It's called Local Legend. It's a song about dreams that I wrote, and it's a play on words on the whole. Being like a local legend. Like there's a lot. This song's an onion. There's many layers. That's why you need to stream it 10,000 times
To catch
and
on
on the
to it.
9,000th one, you'll see what I was trying to get at. But it's just talking about like maybe all you want in life has been there with you all along.
Nicely put. I like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Chris Nash. Take it away.
Grinding things out every single day, it's a living. Giving all that I've got to give, a new beginning. Sang this before in my first rodeo. I've been down this road before. I keep wanting more, dream of my own cameo on a popular television show. Even if I only get to be a legend in my own mind, I've got to see things I never would have seen. I know it's you I'd eventually find. I'm okay, don't you worry about me, I'll just stay in my own lane. I guess there's nothing wrong with being a local legend. I've known I would never find love online or in a smoky bar. They say you find love when you don't even look. You could be driving in your car. I've sang this before in my first rodeo. I've been down this road before. I keep wanting more, dream of my own cameo on a popular television show. Even if I only get to be a legend in my own mind, I've got to see things I never would have seen. I know it's you I'd eventually find. I'm okay, don't you worry about me, I'll just stay in my own lane. I guess there's nothing wrong with being a local legend. Even if I only get to be a legend in my own mind, I've got to see things I never would have seen. I know it's you I'd eventually find. I'll be okay, don't y'all worry about me, I'll just stay in my own lane. I guess there's nothing wrong with being a local legend. I'll just be that local legend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Nash, if you're just joining us on Planet Z Live's Under the Radar Live in Whiteville, North Carolina, where he's from, and Mike Daniels' studio called Audio Scribe Studios. Michael, tell me about your studio.
Well, we have a nice place here that'll take care of any kind of singer-songwriter groups or full bands. We usually will come in here and we'll do the rough tracks first, and then we come back and we'll do the drum tracks and stuff. Everything can be done right here in the studio. It's a good studio. It's got a good sound, good feel. It's homey. Got some trees in here.
Yeah.
But it's a good studio. I enjoy it. It's my favorite room in the house.
How much time you think you spend in there?
Probably not as much as I want to.
That's the way it always is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a matter of who I can get into the studio at the time and who's doing things. But I've got Emily Burnett in here, and she's actually going to be doing a track that we're working on that we'll be releasing it. It's actually the song that you said you liked the most from her.
I told you that was a good one. What's the name of that one again?
I think it's Walk for a While.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we're actually re-recording that song.
That's a good one.
Doing it as a full production. So it's going to be a fully recorded song, not just acoustic guitar and vocals.
And little do people probably know, when artists come to your studio for Under the Radar, you normally record a couple of their tracks so they can have them to stream or do whatever, and which is
if they want tracks done, I'll do a few tracks and record it and mix it and master it and send it to them, and don't charge them for it. So
I'll tell you what, it's just kind of you. You know, when I was doing a show on 96 Rock, it was called For Locals Only, very similar to this, but I find a lot of artists didn't have tracks. They wanted to be on, but they didn't have anything to to play. So I would kind of do that too.
And it's funny because, I hear the same stories all the time from different artists that say, I just don't have the money to do it. And it's
right.
For me, it's not about money. It's about getting in there and
sharing the art.
Yeah, and
craft
getting the stuff, or something that they can actually use to either market themselves better with or that they can listen to that would be studio worthy, and that's kind of what I do. But no, don't get me wrong, I do charge.
That's right.
I do charge.
He will charge you.
But it's not all about the money.
Right.
And it's one of those things where I adjust how much I'm actually charging based off of my location,
right?
And how it is to get out here, and because I understand, you're in Wilmington, you're looking for a recording studio. There's a lot of recording studios in Wilmington, but in Whiteville, you charge less. It's more of a distance to come out, but you charge less. They can afford it.
Those studios in Wilmington are expensive. Chris Nash, you ever been to one?
Looked into them, but I'm like, dang, I don't have the nickels.
What are they? What's a run there? What's a recording studio run in Wilmington on average?
I know that some will take a deposit first, and that actually allows you to secure the time with them. And there's also, they do it by hour as well. I don't charge by the hour. Because I just know that if I charge by the hour out here, I wouldn't make it. There's no way I'd be able to make it out here. So
that's mighty nice of you, Michael. Giving people an alternative at Audio Scribe Studios, and can be on Under the Radar too, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
package deal there. Chris Nash, what would you say your favorite venue for performing is that you performed at, or hope to perform at, or what's your favorite?
Well, so far, I love the Real Cafe. They've been so good to me. They gave me a shot. And so I love playing over there. I do love playing birthday songs at the hotel.
That's what I was saying.
I got my Hawaiian shirt. I got my, I'm at the Tiki Bar right there by the river. And I just tell people, I'm Don Ho's fourth cousin. And, happy birthday to you, and all that. And I just play into the whole, hospitality hotel thing. And I love there. I love Star Tavern down in Little River. There's a lot more venues I would love to play that I haven't played yet.
Which qualities do you think make for a great musician? Do you look at different musicians? Of course, they've got different talents and strengths, but is there something that's just what? This is a resounding quality. It seems to make you a great musician. Is there something that stands out?
Well, the reason why I'm primarily a country music guy is because of the storytelling. I mean, there's a lot of stories in rock and roll too.
Yeah.
But the story, the narrative, you can tell if someone really means it.
Right.
If they're
conviction.
they're singing from their heart, and when they're telling you about that breakup or whatever it is, and they mean it, and that's when it resonates in the hearts of all the listeners, and that makes them want to follow that artist. And I think it's just conviction. Talent there's a lot of talented folks everywhere. And I used to be a kind of a music teacher, kind of. At East Carolina, I was with the music therapy department.
Yeah.
That's when I kind of did 9 to 5 for a long time, was music therapy.
When did you do that, music therapy?
I did that
Recently?
Let's see. Well, I'm kind of semi-retired now. I just do contract work with public schools, working with the middle school kids and try to keep them off the streets and stuff like that. See, I did that from like 07. I got board certified 07, and I worked with like a kind of a big known healthcare firm in the Carolinas. And then my alma mater, PD Pirate, and them said, you want to come work for us for a little while. And so I did that, and I became like adjunct out there, faculty at East Carolina School of Music. And, just trying to train music students as far as like you want to use music to make a living in healthcare or in the school systems or whatever. And even whether you're doing that music therapeutically or music as an entertainer, there's a common quality that I like to see. We all play music for different reasons. I mean, some of us want to take it to the top and win that, that Grammy award, or they want to play the Super Bowl or whatever, or they just want to whatever. Everybody's got goals, but no matter like what your goals are, you got to play it like you mean it. Like the conviction, I think, is what I admire and what I try to encourage in folks that come across my path that I feel like I kind of help them along. Because, I always feel like passing the torch, I'm still running the marathon, I'm still passing the baton. I'm still got like using the marathon paradigm. I'm like on in my mind, like mile 7. I got
out of how many?
Out of 26. I'm just coming out the gate. I got a leg cramp and don't have my Purell. And I'm in trouble, man. But I gotta run this race, and I chose to do this for my life, for the rest of my life.
Well, it's very similar to like the Johnny Cash movie, the Walk the Line movie, where he was in the studio.
Oh, I got to watch that tonight now that you've mentioned it.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He was in the studio, and he was singing that gospel song, and the engineer was looking at him like, this is boring kind of thing. And he's like, well, what do you have against a gospel song? He said, nothing. I just don't believe you.
Right.
Exactly. That was a great scene.
And that was something that I was like, that's a great point. And I look at that all the time too, because it's like, you can sing songs all the time, but if the person doesn't believe you when you're singing it, you're not causing that emotion that's like, like a love song, for instance. A love song is a great example. If somebody is singing a love song, but yet you don't believe them, you don't want to hear the song, right? Because you just don't.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with that statement that it has to be believable, and you've got to convey the emotion that the song was written in.
Chris Nash, let's get another live track from you. Speaking of convictions and whatnots, let's get another live one from you. What track you want to do?
This one here was also on my EP. It's called the Green Swamp Session because it was recorded around the Green Swamp, which is our swamp here in Whiteville. And this one's called Burning Down the Highway, and it's about me hitting the road like a man unchained back in 2016, trying to like figure out what I'm gonna do. I booked myself on a bunch of open mics. I played every open mic, I think, this side of I-40. And when I couldn't get booked. But this song is about that.
All right.
And are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? 6 gun by my side, and the stage is my foxhole. I was born to run, I was born to fly. May not make it to the old promised land to see the blessing by and by. I'm burning down the highway, burning down 95. Got to see things my way, or else I don't think I'm gonna make it out alive. Put the pedal to the metal, hammer to the floor. I'm gonna burn it up, gonna tear it up, gonna beat down that damn door. I was born to run, I was born to fly. May I make it to the old promised land to see the blessing by and by. I'm burning down the highway, burning down 95.
Got to do things my way, or else I don't think I'ma make it out alive. By my side, and the stage is my foxhole. I was born to run, I was born to fly. May I make it to the old promised land to see the blessing by and by. Burning down that highway, burning down 95. Got to do things my way, or else I don't think I'ma make it out alive. Make it out alive.
You got to add a woo onto that.
Woo!
That's awesome.
Right, that's right.
That was really a good one.
Oh, thank you.
That might be my favorite so far.
That's my big Johnny Cash influence.
That was your say. I did hear some Johnny
that whole,
Cash in there.
We're gonna have to lay that down later, man.
Yeah.
Gotta put that down.
Yeah.
Gotta lay it down. Be cool, daddy. Yeah.
Lay it down.
Lay it down, daddy. I like that. And I like that was a good one, man. That's probably my favorite so far this evening.
Oh, thank you. And live when I got my guys with me, you got that typical train beat happening.
Yeah.
And it's a big Johnny Cash, 400 horsepower type of.
That's me on the tambourine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That going there. Now, I'll tell you what, Toe, what's the best piece of advice another musician's ever given you?
Play it like you mean it.
Play it like you mean it. And we're touching on that a few moments ago.
That same thing, yeah. And
who told you that?
I'm trying to think. It was one of my mentors.
DJ Styles tell you that?
He did. He actually did. Because we were talking about Napoleon Dynamite and all that, and and tater tots and all that.
Yeah.
Purell. That's the whole.
Yeah.
The whole.
Mm-hmm. Play it like you mean it, man. Yeah,
play it like you mean it.
Conviction up in that thing.
Play it like you mean it, and the people will listen.
Mm-hmm.
And
We need to create a band called it Tater Tots.
Now, do you have a band?
There we go.
Now, Chris, do you have a band with you? Like, you play with the band, or
well,
just?
there are guys that have played with me through the last couple of years, and the way my scheduling has been is like, hey, you guys want to come play here? But they're playing in another band. And,
Brown Dirt Cowboys come to mind.
Oh well, I know those guys. Yeah, because I was watching Mark's. I was listening to Mark's podcast earlier today, and how Joel is playing with him.
He's always
y'all were just
plays
riffing
everybody.
on that.
Yeah.
But I
He'll
can
play
relate.
with you.
I can relate. Yeah, I am looking for a good piano
He'll
player.
play. He's good too, and he's good
It's
too.
like
He's awesome.
like one of my favorite music movies of all time is Crazy Heart with Jeff Bridges,
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
where he goes to this bar that he's playing somewhere like Santa Fe or somewhere, and the guy Rick Dial, who is, oh, God rest his soul, he was a character actor from Arkansas, a really good friend of Billy Bob Thornton. Played the piano player, but in Sling Blade, he was the guy that owned the lawnmower repair shop where Billy Bob's character worked. But anyway, in Crazy Heart, he was the piano player. And, French fry.
I'm at Bob Cox's outfit out here.
That's right. Yeah.
What's his name? Bob Cox? Is that him?
Bill Cox.
Bill Cox.
I working with Bill Cox's outfit, and flowers sure are pretty. I really always thought that, and that was his way of flirting with the girl working at the dollar store.
Right, Dan.
I love pricing items. That's one of my favorite things to do. Price items. My feet hurt. Anyway, Rick was like the piano player, and all that to mean this takes a million years for me to get my point. But Jeff Bridges said, "Woo, it's been a long while since I had a good piano player." All that to say that, I could always use a good piano player.
Yeah, well, he'd be a good one. He'll play with you. Plays everybody. Tell you what, let's get another live track and close the show out here from Mr. Chris Nash. Let's do another one, man. What you got?
Right, let's see.
Why don't you give us a little bit of that little festive music, for Christmas? We talked about Feliz, just a little bit. We don't want all that. Just give me about a few bars of that Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Año felicidad.
I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Hey!
Purell and tater tot.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was on that tambourine. Michael, I think, Michael, I heard you sing some too.
That was rocking. Now.
Yeah, I got away from the microphone.
That was
Hopefully
mighty
it didn't
fun.
come in loud.
Oh, might get Chris Nash a little of that. Put me in the Chris spirit, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Chris Nash, what song you want to close us out with this evening?
Let's see. Dang, I thought that was it. My big Jose Feliciano. But
No, we need one more.
let's see. I'm trying to think. What do I have on there? Let's see. There's one song that kind of a sad love song to make listeners would drive off a bridge if they heard that
We
one. So
want
maybe
that.
not that one.
We want that.
It's on my EP called That Summer Rain, but I won't do that one.
All right.
Kind of a sad song. Let's
All right,
do.
yeah.
Let's see.
Doyle Hargrave's band. Something.
Yeah, I know.
My cars are the
It's
chief
like,
of police.
Go practice, Randy. Or he says, can y'all turn that down? I can hear himself think. I play cards every Tuesday with
chief of
J.D.
police.
Shellnut. Now, that would be a great band name. J.D. Shellnut and Bill Cox's outfit. Something like that, you know.
Doyle Hargrave's band. Doyle Hargrave. Man, I tell you what,
Which
Dwight
is-
Yoakam played that
Dwight
role,
Yoakam
man.
is one of my heroes.
Oh
Yeah,
my
he's
gosh.
Because in real life, I hear that he's a sweet guy, but he
That
plays
Doyle.
a great villain. Doyle, yeah.
He'll be
When
mighty
he says,
liquored up this evening.
when they're sitting in his duel, he
Yeah.
said, when you gentlemen are sitting in some circle is considered, he's an automotive art. This is a full dually pickup.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
What you plan to do with that sling blade, Carl?
I aim to kill you with it. Call a hearse.
Hurst.
And it's like, I like you to make me some of them biscuits if you ain't gonna put you out too much.
All right, Ian. What are you gonna play for us, Chris Nash?
This song here called "Pay to Play," but it's kind of a pun on the whole pay to play thing from the '80s. But it's about what we do has got a consequence. So really think what you're gonna do, because there's gonna be something that's gonna come of it.
All right.
And I just kind of made it, try to be as clever as I can, try to tell a story about people trying to play music. And
All
stuff.
right. Pick it pretty for
It's
us.
like this. You've got to pay to play. What can I say? If you ain't got the dollars, you might as well hit the. Hey yo, what do you say? Do you want to see me play? You can try everything to try and grab the brass ring. You really want to sing? Blood, sweat, and tears don't really mean a dang thing. What can I say? If you really wanna play. Ever since I was on my grandpa's knee, first thing that he ever told me, the best thing he learned in the military. He said freedom ain't free, liberty ain't easy. This feeling won't never leave me. Blood, sweat, and tears don't really mean a dang thing. What can I say? If you really wanna play, you've got to pay to play. What can I say? If you ain't got the dollars, you might as well hit the. Hey yo, what do you say? Do you wanna see me play? You can try everything to try and grab the brass ring. Really wanna sing? Blood, sweat, and tears don't really mean a dang thing. What can I say? If you really wanna play. A good buddy of mine overseas, hell on his heels, driving tanks through the burning oil fields, putting in time, making sure we all stay free. He told me freedom ain't free, liberty ain't easy. This feeling won't never leave me. Blood, sweat, and tears don't really mean a dang thing. What can I say? If you really wanna play, then you've got to pay. got to pay.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, mighty fine picking and a singing from Mr. Chris Nash.
Well, I used to play with. I sat in with the Soggy Bottom Boys.
Did you really?
That'd be awesome. This hog wallop,
Yeah.
that RUNNOFT.
That's right. Are you in it? Sitting on the pile of phone books.
A great movie. All right, Chris Nash, tell people where we can find you next, where you're playing live.
Let's see. We were supposed to play in Little River tomorrow, but the show got moved a week over. We're playing. I got my big bad band with me on Saturday the 23rd of this month at Star Tavern in Little River, and the Friday before we're at Anna's Tex-Mex right here in Whiteville.
How many songs you play during a
I
set?
might have to go to that.
Yeah.
I play this. Well, let's see. It's usually for me and all my buddies that play. It's usually like a 3-hour kind of deal.
Whoa.
And we're looking at like 75 to 100 songs, I guess, for a gig.
Wow.
Maybe not all in sequence, but upwards of that, depending on encores and requests and stuff like that.
Is that normal, Michael, to have that many songs to play? 100 songs?
Dude, it's normal to do 3 to 4 hours.
Golly.
Yeah, it's it's like this like a 26-mile run. It's like a marathon for a lot of us, and I envy the ones that are on the road, supporting a radio hit, because they when they open, like all my friends that play in Nashville, like big country artists, they may have a top 10 song, but they only get to play 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, 30 minutes is my sound check. And my
Yeah.
voice is going by hour
Yeah.
number 3, and I'm like, but yeah, about 75 songs, I think.
Golly. And we can find you on Spotify, Chris Nash.
Yes, it's called Chris Nash, The Green Swamp Session Volume 2. Volume 1 is out in the cloud somewhere. So we had to reconvene and redo it. So it's Volume 2.
Nice, man. And hope you have a Merry Christmas. Happy
Hey,
New Year.
Y'all too. Yes, great to be here. Hope to
And
see y'all
we
soon.
appreciate your time tonight coming out to Audio Scribe Studios and being on Under the Radar this evening. You can catch this broadcast again on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night from 8 to 9 p.m. right here on Planet Z Live at planetZLive.com. And also the podcast. Michael, tell me about the podcast.
Podcast will be up on Saturday after the airing of the rebroadcast. So about 9 o'clock, it'll go live on Spotify. So you'll be able to access it from there.
There you go. This is basically like a live podcast we do, pretty much.
Yeah. It's the whole show you're hearing right now, but it's in podcast
form.
It's just being put up on Spotify. So
Very nice, Chris Nash. We appreciate you coming down tonight to be on Under the Radar. And if Chris Nash, if you know of anybody who wants to be on, or anybody who'd like to be on, message us on Facebook. That's at Planet Z Live on Facebook, and myself or Michael will get back with you. Chris Nash, you know of somebody?
Absolutely will.
Do you know of
I
somebody?
do. There's a couple of buddies of mine that I have in mind that would be perfect for this. So I'm gonna, I'll reach out to you guys and give you info.
That'd be awesome, man. After the first of the year, we'll be back. Michael, we're taking a break until after Christmas, I believe. Isn't that right?
yeah, give me just a second, and I'll be able to tell you exactly when. I wasn't expecting you to say that. Yeah, we've got a show on the 4th of January.
Mm-hmm. Who we got?
And I believe it's the 4th.
Who we
And
got?
it is Colton Beasley.
Yes, Colton Beasley, a friend of mine, Adrian Barnes Temple's friend, I believe, has reached out.
All the way from, I believe, Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah.
He's gonna come to the studio so he can play live for everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's good.
Yeah, seems like a cool dude too, man. Chris Nash, you're a cool dude. It's good to hang out with
Oh,
cool
thank you. Yeah,
dudes
I had
with
a
good
blast.
music, man. It's good.
I do
that's-
love the
yeah.
trees in this studio because I'm a big fan of photos.
foliage. Big fan of
He likes
foliage.
my trees.